welcome to the cottage. I am Babs with Cottage Rogue. This is my 18th Flosstube, and welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I'm so glad to be back. I have been out for a few weeks, well, a couple weeks, because of things. I got really ill, y'all. I got so sick. But I'm feeling a lot better now, which I'm so grateful for. And yeah, so next month will be better. With everything that's been going on. But I have a couple things that I want to wrap up. First of all is the 14 days of Valentine stitching. That's something y'all haven't seen my final product yet because I did finish the Valentine Terrarium by TinyModernist. And I am so excited to show you. Let me get it here. All right, this was done on 16 count evergreen by Bestitchme. And look, isn't it so cute? I love this so much. I think it's beautiful. It almost has like an underwater aqua theme because of the fabric color is kind of this bluish evergreen, whatever. But I think it is so cute. I love this one. Oh my gosh. Of course, you got the little snowflakes and everything and all of the hearts raining down on your house. I love it. So I'm so happy to get this out of this nerd hoop and into a frame. Of course, when I fully finish it, I will share that with you too. I just haven't gone out to get a frame that fits. All my frames are currently 4x4s, and this is absolutely not a 4x4. So I am very excited. I can't wait to do the other terrariums that TinyModernist has. I have, I think, 3 others, but I'm pretty sure that she has another like 2 or 3. So I'm excited about it. So that was my finish. I did not finish it on Valentine's Day. I finished it the morning after, so on February 15th. I could have finished it on Valentine's Day, but I was very tired by that point. So I'm like, you know what? We're just gonna do our thing. So I'll just do it in the morning and it'll be fine. And then everything happened after that. So yeah, anyways, it's done. I think it's gorgeous and I love it. It was a really fun pattern to stitch. I'm discovering that TinyModernist patterns, at least for me, are just super fun to stitch. And I have no idea why. So maybe it's because of the little motifs and all the little colors in them. I don't know. I love it. I think it's super fun. So yay. Now I do have another, not exactly a finish, but a finish for now. And that is from the Stitch for Pride 2025 by D's 20 Stitches. And I don't believe you've seen this one yet because I hadn't started it yet. So this month we have Hatshepsut, who is an empress, well, an emperor actually, from ancient Egypt. She's a pharaoh, and she reigned for 20 years. Here she is. I love her. Oh my goodness, she's fantastic. She even has statues and temples across the way from the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. She reigned for 20 years while I believe her nephew was too young to rule at that time. He was an infant when he became king. And so she was, ruling for him at that point. And the entire area had great prosperity and wealth and an abundance of culture and the arts and theater and all of that under her rule. It was fantastic. And then as soon as he grew up enough, he tried to erase her and just erase her from history. So right now I do know there's a lot of restoration going on and putting together a lot of her statues in Egypt and that sort of thing, because what an amazing legacy to leave behind, just the prosperous, like how the city prospered and all that under her reign. And she actually did wear the required clothing. So she dressed up like a man, and including the fake beard and everything, just like every other individual did before her who reigned. And I think that actually helped her a lot. So here we are. We're going with the same color scheme or theme. If you're going to focus here, we'll do this. There we are. So yeah, I've got gold for the Ankh here, which is from NightStalkersCalling, one of the Advent colors. This pink is a variegated DMC that is number 48, And then the blue above there is number 67. And it is the same as what I used on Ellie Bias from last month. Oh, also the needle minder as well. It came from NightStalkersCalling too. There we are. Okay. So I'm actually going to take this out of the frame. Let's see what they look like together, because I haven't seen that yet. So I am really excited about it. I also love that this little nerd hoop this is the number 1 nerd. It fits one of these motifs exactly. So yeah, just totally small and little and cute. And I love it. And I need to put this needle minder away. There we go. Okay. And this is done, by the way, on 20 Count Spooky by Bestitchme. So we'll just fold this up and we'll try. Oh, it's so pretty. Oh my gosh. And what I love about the variegated colors is each strand is going to be a little bit different, you know? So here we are. Look at that. Look at how gorgeous that is. So you notice here at Ellie Bias up here, we have a lot more of the darker blues as well. And this one, I kind of did it more of a variegated transition from the variegated blue to the variegated pink. And I even included, like in this middle section, a strand of white with one of each. That's why this is 2/1 on 20 count. Otherwise, I would have done 1/1. I did use the same color for Ellie Bias's sofa, as well as the Ankh. And then, of course, we have the flowers up here, which is another one of NightStalkersCalling's flosses from the Abbott calendar. This is beautiful. I am so excited. I can't wait to see what March's is going to be. There was a sneak preview and there was a sword. So I am going to guess that it's either the only female empress of China or a Mulan. It is also possible it could be Joan of Arc. I don't know. One of those 3. Yeah, we will see. We will see. I'm very excited about it. So, and one thing I'm really proud of too is this wing. As I love how we have the darker colors here, and it gives it the wing shape. We have the darker in the curve and then the lighter over here. And I did that on purpose, or I attempted to do that, and it actually worked out. I'm so happy. I also love on how this one, the pink is a lot darker on this motif than this motif. And same thing, how the blue is a lot darker on this motif than this motif. I don't know why. It's just a variation of the variegated floss. And I love it. I think it's so fun. It's super cute. And I am so excited for this. I also love that it has some semblance of order, if that makes sense. Meaning I'm using the same 3 flosses here. And for sure, I want to use the same 2 flosses in every single motif. But this gold might have to be in every single motif too. It's the reason why I put it in there is because they're both rulers. So we'll see how many of them are going to be rulers of a nation. So that's my progress. I am putting this one away. These ladies look fabulous. So these ladies are getting put away for the rest of this month. And then when March comes around, I believe I said this last time, I'm going to try to work on the Stitch for Pride within the first 2 weeks. Just because it's good to, that way I don't feel like I'm rushing by the end, if that makes sense. So I just want to get them done. I'll put you up there. There you go, my beautiful project. All right, so my must-dos. I have must-dos for this last week of February here, which would be through Friday. It's already the 22nd, 23rd? I don't remember. Anyway, it's Sunday today. And so one of my must-dos was finish the Stitch for Pride 2025, which I've done. So that's great news. I actually finished that on the 20th. My second one was to complete my 2 whip goes. That's the other thing I want to do next month, is as soon as those whip go numbers get pulled, I'll pull them out. If they're new starts, I have them ready to go and all of that. I don't think Jessie Marie Does Stuff has the whip go numbers pulled as of yet, but soon. So I want to make sure to pull them out so that way they're ready so I can work on them right away. And it's the same sort of thing is just to get those done with so I don't feel like I'm rushing, because I do want to complete my goals there. I really do. And so I had, at the time that I wrote my stuff down on my notebook, I still had 300 more stitches to do on my Forest Friend style by TinyModernist, and 344 stitches due on my Guardian of the Woods Leshy by the Witchy Stitcher. Well, since I've been sick, I've actually completed both of those. So let's start with the Forest Friend Stitch Along. This was a Patreon only stitch along for last year. I think like March of last year, if I'm not mistaken. It was before I started recording, when I was doing new starts. I'm pretty sure it was March or April. So this is by the TinyModernist. I'm working on the third quadrant. And before, when you saw this, I had part of a skunk, but it didn't really look like a skunk. It looks like a skunk now. So only like this part of the head and then this part of the body and up to like here for the tail and the feet were done. And now we have this part of the tail. We have a little, these are actually centers of flowers. They were the same color as this, so I just kind of went with it. And then we have this greenery here and this greenery here. And all of that, plus with the skunk and everything, this inner portion of those two colors, it's 500 stitches. So I'm very excited for this. I love this. I will pull this out again after March. So probably April, because I still have the rest of this quadrant and one more quadrant over here to work on, and then I will be done. So I'm really excited about it. So I'm putting this away for now, but not for long. This is done on 14 count printed Aida, and it's this like blue and green printed Aida. See, it's white on the back, but then it's got this lovely variation to it. I love it. I bought this obviously last year, and I needed something for this Sal, and I grabbed it, and it just happened to work. So, yeah. So I'm very excited about it, but I will work on that later. We'll put you right there. And Leshy, which is Guardian of the Woods Leshy by the Witchy Stitcher. This was a new start, so you hadn't seen this before because I hadn't started it yet. I had this on 18 count Garden Party. This is one of my last scrap of Garden Party. And look, I love it. So, no, actually you did see part of this before. You saw just like this little section right here. I believe I showed this to you. I could be totally wrong. I don't remember. But if you've seen this before, it was just like around where the head is. And now I have, you can see where the ribs are going to go and part of the back because he's sideways. And of course, some of the antlers, one there, and then this one's part of one, and then there'll be two more. What I love about this garden party is it looks like a forest. So I'm so excited. But there's actually 3 colors there. I don't know if you can really tell, but there is a dark green here, and his like moss beard, and then these antlers and stuff. This is 3371, which is a super dark chocolate brown. So very, very dark color palette. I believe this one was designed in 2021. But yeah, even looking at it from here in this lighting, I can hardly tell. But it is different. So I'm trusting the process on this because I do love the final product. So I can't wait to see how this is going to look when it's done. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and put this away. This is literally 579 stitches right here. So you are going to be done for a while, my dear, and I will put you away. And I will bring this one back out. Oh, probably in the summer or so when it's closer to fall. I don't know, that's when I tend to do my spookier ones. I love it. I love it. Anyway, so that one was done. So those 2 WIPCO goals are done. So I finished the Stitch for Pride 2025. I finished my 2 WIPCO goals, and now I have 3 more goals for the rest of this month. I don't have a lot of time the rest of this month either because In addition to my full-time job, I also edit manuscripts from time to time, and I have one of those and I have a deadline for the end of the month. So we will see how much I can get done. But there's a few things I want to do. One would be is my Art Nouveau train. I want to get another 1,500 stitches by the end of the month. I think if I work on it during lunches, I can do that. I like lunches at work because, I don't know, I can usually get pretty close to, assuming I have a big chunk I can work on, I can get probably 100 stitches in a 45 to 60 minute time frame. So assuming I don't have to travel too far and I don't have to change my floss out. So that will help immensely for sure. Obviously, I'm going to work on a bunch of it today in addition to my editing. But that is my goal. My Art Nouveau train by Stitching Land is going to be my focus piece. I also want to work on my heart sampler because that is my birthday month piece, my hashtag Babs Birthday Sal. And I haven't had a chance to really work on it much at all because I've either been recovering from a car accident or I've been sick. So, working on other things. So, but that is something I am still going to have on my list. I'm going to continue to work on. So it is totally fine. I will work on it. And then the other thing is I haven't had a chance to start my monthly Year in the Woods as well. So Year in the Woods, the Swans by Cottage Garden Samplings. And it's so beautiful. And I want to at least start it. For a couple reasons. One, because it started. And for me, starting is the hardest part. It's like I get all these pretty things, I get these patterns, I get all the kits, and then it'll sit there for 2 months until I finally go over and start it. So I need to start it. So those are my 3 goals. And then also, as we were talking about WhipGo, is I've made some changes to my WhipGo board. So I can show you those, but I have decided, because I had a bunch of new starts on there, but I've been tracking what my new starts. And in January, I had 7. And in February, so far, I have I don't know, 3 or 4, if I'm not mistaken. I'd have to double check. But I have a bunch. And yes, I want to do 25 new starts and 25. A Year in the Woods is going to have for sure 12. And then I've also, started Heart Sampler for the Babs Birthday Sal, Valentine's Terrarium for the 14 days of Valentine stitching. And next month, I'm going to be starting some new starts because my friends have birthdays and they're stitchers. And so I don't need to have all those new starts in my WhipGo too. So I've removed 6 of my 8 new starts that remain. And I believe 5 of my 7. My bad. And that's only because the other ones I already have my supplies for. So I may as well leave them on there. That I really, really I want to work on them too. So I have decided that numbers 3, 6, 14, 18, and 22, I am removing the new starts from those, and I will be changing them to a Year in the Woods dealer's choice. So it gives me a chance to catch up on my Year in the Woods. And so I'm really excited about that. So, yep. So here's my WhipGo board now that I have. These were for this month. I have those done. And you can see here a Year in the Woods, a Year in the Woods. And I've just kind of taken some white out and replaced them. Year in the Woods, there we are. And of course, marking which ones are done by my pretty colors of highlighters. So yeah, so I feel better about that because I don't want to start and have 12 new starts for Year in the Woods and then not have any to put up for next year. And my goal is by the time January rolls around, I will have January's finished and be able to put it up and enjoy it for that month. And then if I have to work on February's during January next year, so be it, So that is my goal. And I think that'll work. I think it'll work, right? They always say for WhipGo, Justin Marie Does Stuff says, do what works for you. So I am making this modification to have it work for me. And since a Year in the Woods at Cottage Garden Samplings is something that I've been wanting to do, and I have planned on it since October of last year, that's very important to me. So that's what I'm going to work on. So, yes, I am very excited about it. I'm going to have a busy end of the month. Totally fine with that. I actually have energy now to do it. So, yay! But that is everything that I have here for you today. I wanted to thank you so much for being here and for sharing in my progress, my stitchy progress, and my goals, and all of your support. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I am curious to know what your plans are for the rest of the month and for March too. If that's something that you plan out and that sort of thing. So, but thank you so much for being here. Y'all are absolutely amazing. I appreciate each and every one of you. And remember, my cottage is always open. Bye bye.